Yeah, good evening to you, Vicki. Good evening to you, Rick. Those siblings, just 6 and 9 years old, despite the efforts of first responders, died here while in surgery. Now, I got to tell you, this is a crime, an arrest that has shocked the small community of Shepherdsville. Not long after the crime tape went up in this quiet Shepherdsville subdivision, the talk began. And eventually, the awful rumors proved true.
I mean, what's this world coming to? For a mother to shoot her 2 children.
I'm a mom of 2, and it's hard.
Be grateful if your father is here. Be present in his life. Mend relationships. You never know. I watch my son struggle without his, and we struggle without mine. So be grateful.
In November 2023, an unimaginable crime occurred in a seemingly idyllic home on Bentwood Drive in Shepherdsville, Kentucky, a lovely house. The offense was so horrific that a local deputy remarked there was no way any human being could have survived, let alone 2 small boys, ages 9 and 6. In this video, we will attempt to shed light on this tragic case, offering a detailed look at the known facts. We also seek to address the haunting question: what drove someone to commit such a heinous act? A mother's role in her children's lives carries immense importance, embodying the sacred duties of protection, nurturing, and guidance. She is often perceived as the primary shield against the world's harsh realities, offering a sanctuary of safety and love. However, when this natural role is violently disrupted, it not only shatters these fundamental principles, but also causes widespread devastation, impacting both the immediate family and the broader community. On the evening of Tuesday, November 7th, in Shepherdsville, Kentucky, a neighbor observed 32-year-old Tiffanie Lucas, a single mother of 2, in a distressed state as she vigorously cleaned carpets outside her home on Bentwood Drive. When asked about her well-being, Tiffanie replied vaguely, "There's a lot going on." The following morning, the tranquility of the neighborhood was shattered by 4 gunshots fired within 30 seconds. At around 11 a.m., a visibly distraught Tiffanie approached a neighboring couple's home, crying out, "Help! My kids are dying!" before collapsing on their driveway. The neighbor's husband rushed into Tiffany's house, where he made a horrifying discovery. He found her 2 young sons gravely injured and bleeding, but still alive. Nearby lay a gun, presumably the weapon used. Responding officers noted that the boys' injuries were in areas typically considered unsurvivable. The children were swiftly taken to Norton Children's Medical Center in Louisville, where emergency surgery was performed. Despite the medical team's best efforts, both boys succumbed to their injuries. Tiffanie was apprehended at the Bullitt County Emergency Medical Services facility and booked into the county detention center within an hour. She was held on a $2 million bond. The shocking and grisly events left the residents of Bullitt County in a state of profound shock and disbelief. At the sheriff's office, Tiffanie Lucas was questioned and reportedly claimed she had been manipulated through the internet, including Facebook and her Wi-Fi, into committing her actions. These statements are baffling and raise numerous questions about her motives and mental state. Neighbors interviewed by local media expressed disbelief, noting that there were no visible warning signs or indications that Tiffanie was capable of such a horrific act. A woman who identified herself as a close friend was especially stunned, saying, "This is not the Tiffanie I know. She would never hurt her children." The tragedy has profoundly affected the community, leaving many seeking answers. To provide insight, we will explore Tiffany's background and recent history for any clues that might clarify her actions.
You don't expect this, no matter where you live. Just put yourself in these people's place and think, well, it can happen to anyone. And it was shocking, actually. Nobody ever thinks it's going to happen in your neighborhood. Just love your family and hope nothing like this ever happens to anyone else.
According to her Facebook profile, 32-year-old Tiffanie Ann Lucas was originally from Chicago, Illinois. She had 2 young sons, Jaden and Maurice, both under 10 years old, each fathered by different men. The boys were enrolled at Freedom Elementary School in Bullitt County. Tiffanie and her children lived in a rented 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, covering nearly 1,400 square feet. Raised with her brother, Tiffanie shared a notably close relationship with her father, John Lucas, who affectionately considered her his little girl, embodying the classic image of a doting father. Tiffany's social media presence presented a multifaceted view of her life. She often posted selfies and photos, highlighting her fashion sense and physical appearance. However, the predominant theme in her posts was her role as a devoted mother. She frequently shared pictures capturing joyful moments with her sons, who always appeared happy, portraying an outward image of family contentment. In contrast, a deeper look into Tiffany's past reveals a series of significant struggles and challenges. Early in her adult life, she began with modeling before transitioning into entrepreneurship. In 2016, she launched Miss Tiff's One-Stop Shop, a convenience store selling food, tobacco, and other essentials. Unfortunately, despite her hard work, the store failed to attract enough customers and closed in 2017. Tiffanie linked part of this failure to Walmart's abandoned plan for a nearby store, which she had hoped would boost her store's foot traffic, as she mentioned in a 2016 local news interview.
A lot of people don't make their way down here, but if there's a Walmart, you come out of the woodworks for Walmart. So probably would have brought a lot of people to, stop and check us out.
After this setback, Tiffanie faced legal troubles and was arrested on drug charges. She admitted to drug possession in 2018 and served a 30-day jail sentence. Court records show that there were no indications of violent behavior in her history, and there were no further arrests between the drug charges and the current events. Recently, Tiffanie had been employed in a job with overnight shifts, although details about this position are unclear. The most recent significant event in her life involved a profound personal loss. Her sudden passing was a profound shock for Tiffanie, plunging her into deep grief. Her father had been a fundamental source of support, guidance, and stability, and his unexpected death created a substantial void in her life. Tiffanie conveyed her immense sorrow and the impact of this loss in a heartfelt video she shared on Facebook.
When my dad was alive and would come visit me, I would always bring him here, and he loved it. So since I can't go all the way back up north, I'm releasing balloons for my dad. And I love him so much. And I hope you have the best spot. They didn't have Father's Day balloons, but I got a smile on my face because you always make me smile. And a flower because you always bought me flowers.
I found a broken bottle.
Be grateful if your father is here. Be present in his life. Mend relationships. You never know. I watch my son struggle without his, and we struggle without mine. So be grateful.
Tiffany's life continued to be fraught with personal tragedies and struggles. Merely 7 months after her father's sudden death, she was dealt another devastating blow with the murder of Durrell Howard, the 38-year-old father of one of her children. This case remains an open homicide investigation by the Louisville Metro Police Department. Before she could fully come to terms with this loss, her mother suffered a stroke and was diagnosed with a brain tumor within the same year. Amid these personal crises, Tiffanie also faced severe financial difficulties. By the time of the shooting, her circumstances had become critical, with her home utilities cut off and an eviction notice left on her kitchen counter. For a young mother grappling with financial strain, an eviction notice is more than just a document. It represents a profound threat to her and her children's security and well-being. It triggers a whirlwind of emotions: fear of losing her home, anxiety about finding a new place and supporting her family, and perhaps even feelings of shame or guilt due to societal pressures and her own aspirations to provide a stable environment. These ongoing struggles highlight the severe difficulties Tiffanie has faced, culminating in the tragic and unjustifiable events of November 8th. During a remote court session on November 9th, Tiffanie displayed a notably flat demeanor, even as District Court Judge Jennifer Porter set her bail at $2 million. The high bail amount was determined due to concerns about Tiffany's potential threat to others, reflecting the serious nature of the charges against her, including 2 counts of murder and fears related to her access to weapons. As of now, no further hearings have been scheduled. The challenges and events outlined in this video provide some context for understanding the lead-up to the November 8th incident. However, it's crucial to distinguish that while context can offer insight, it does not excuse the actions taken that day. The case will continue to unfold in the Kentucky court system, with many questions still unanswered and the full details yet to be determined.